Ah, I am now live. Let's see who shows up tonight. We have one viewer. This live stream is sponsored by Jack Factory. Like all my videos on my YouTube channel are sponsored by Jack Factory. So go on their website and support me and check out some of their stuff, jackfactory.com. The links will be in the bio after this is all said and done. But for now, this is Antoine Anonymous, meeting number 2. I said last week that I was going to do one this week, but I am in Montreal, so I am jumping online right now to do one, even though I am not home. So I'm using my iPad. First time doing this on my iPad, and honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. So I don't even know if you guys can hear me or not. I don't know where the chat is, but the chat is on. If you guys want to send a message so I can see what's going on. All right, what is that thing here? Retouch on. Oh, okay. Anyways, as I was driving in Montreal, I saw a lot of homeless people. I saw places I used to go when I was partying and stuff. Okay, I go one chat here. Perfect. Excellent. So I know this is working. I wish the chat would stay though, but whatever. Perfect. Ruben, there we go. Yes, I was driving in Montreal, or being driven in Montreal, and I saw some of the places I would walk around and stuff because this is where I started like having a lot of more trouble with my drug addiction back in the days. It's always funny and weird. It's like if I would go downtown Toronto, I would always feel like just bad memories come up. But yeah, it started back in Montreal, back in 2014. I got really crazy with that stuff, and I just lost control. And I thought, maybe like Montreal is the problem. Then I moved to Toronto thinking that, oh, Montreal was the problem. I'm leaving this life behind me. It stays in Montreal. I got to start a new life in Toronto. That was my idea. But it didn't go like that. The problem was it followed me because the problem was me. That's the problem. And I wish I could see the whole chat here. I can hear you. Sup? Simply Deep. My day's going good. I'm just doing some promo here in Montreal for the Footlog Classic, May 10th. So if you're in around Montreal, you want to see the biggest expo in Canada, it's like a Arnold Classic version that we have here in the making. It's building up every year, bigger and bigger. But we are definitely the biggest for this expo in Canada right now. But yeah, so I'm doing that. And as I said earlier, every Friday at 9:30 p.m., I am doing this live on YouTube, and it's a live. It's called Antoine Anonymous because I thought it was funny, but it is to help people struggling with either mental health issues, drug addiction, and also people in recovery who just want to hear about it, share some stuff, maybe have some questions in the chat. So that's the goal of this. So that's why I'm doing that. So I was telling a story that Montreal, I thought the problem was there. Drug use was heavy in Montreal. Okay, yeah, I'm just reading. Simply Deep. Oh, you're the one asking, like, oh, if I get caught having sex, what do I do? Yeah, that was a weird question, brother, but it's okay. We are all weird people in a way. Well, yeah. So Montreal, leaving Montreal, I really thought that I would leave the problem there, but the problem was me, so it followed me. And then a few weeks in, I was back doing the same thing in another city. And even though I wasn't hanging out with the same people anymore, I found other people that were, bad for me, and I would be hanging around them. So sometimes the G geographical solution to the problem is like it doesn't work. You can't escape yourself. So yeah, I had to fucking fuck up different cities. I fucked up in Montreal, fucked up in Toronto downtown, fucked up in Hamilton, everywhere. So I would go around being messed up everywhere until I decided to go to rehab and get my shit together. But I do have weird memories attached to Montreal and downtown Toronto sometimes. But the longer you go without doing any stupid shit, and then you can attach new memories to the places, because triggers for people who have problems usually are always people, places, and things. So what does that mean? Well, if you're trying to stop drinking, and then you go hang out with people who drink, it's going to be really hard to not drink. So that's one thing. Places. If you go into a bar and you're trying to stop drinking, you're at the wrong place because people drink in a bar. So that's places. And things, if you always, for example, drank your alcohol in a specific glass at home, and then you just still use that glass, and then you associate that glass with like brandy or whatever, rum, whatever whiskey you're drinking, that would be the thing. You attach it with drugs or alcohol, whatever. So people, places, and things. So early in recovery, and even like, I mean, all the time, if you're smart with your recovery, you would try to avoid all the people, all the places, and the things that make you think or use or want to use drugs. So that's one advice that's very simple, but sometimes hard to do. And why it's hard, because sometimes they can be your friends, right? You think you have friends, and these friends are the one triggering you or like telling you to like use or drink with them because this is all you did. And a lot of time, people they just want other people to drink and do drugs with them. So then people want to do a drink. They want to drink and do drugs with other people. They'll just hang out all together all the time. And they think they're friends, but their friendship is based off like the foundation is just based off partying and drinking and all that type of stuff. So this is why sometimes it's really hard to give up these people, these friends, because you think you love them. Maybe you do love them. Who knows, right? But they're attached with like your bad behavior, and you're bad for them also. So here's a comment here by Cody Robinson. Just a fan, but it's great to hear from you. My life's been busy, so I haven't been. How do I see this fully? Sorry, this YouTube thing. I'm trying to see like a chat viewing option. Damn it. Oh, there you go. Okay. I was telling my friends about what an inspiration you are and how your story helps push me. Yeah, well, thanks for that. Thanks for the support. So yeah, the friends part. A lot of people in rehab, they'll go in rehab and then they'll come out and they'll keep the same friends. But these friends sometimes some people they'll see you do well and they're gonna try to bring you back on their level because they don't want you to do well because it reminds them that they're not doing well. Because sometimes it just feels good to do the miserable things with other people so you feel less miserable. And then a question by PS, bro, how do you get rid of uh, X and X? Was that Xanax? Well, if you are addicted to benzos like Xanax, um, it's really hard to get off because you're gonna feel massive anxiety, and also it like benzos are one of the only drugs that if you stop cold turkey after doing it a lot for a long time, you can die. So with benzos, you can die if you go cold turkey. Alcohol, you can die if you go cold turkey, and GHB, you can die. Rare cases, but it still happens. You can die from going cold turkey. Opiates, you will feel like you're dying 10 times over at once while you're on fire and also drowning and suffocating and your own anxiety and you're puking and you feel like you have the worst fever in the world for like 2 3 weeks, but you're not gonna die from opiates withdrawal. You'll just feel the worst of all the withdrawals. But Xanax is very dangerous. So if you are trying to kick off the Xanax and you can't, I would not recommend doing it cold turkey. I would recommend maybe going to see a doctor so they can actually prescribe. I'm not the expert with that. Some people can just stop by themselves and they're fine. Like if let's say if you're using once a week, twice a week, and you're just binging whatever on them, and then you're just being fucking weird. I would just maybe try cold turkey or try reducing. But if you're doing every day, all day for weeks and months and maybe years, cold turkey is not the way to go. You need to go to a detox. This is what you need to do. So the best way to stop Xanax, you go to a supervised detox with nurses and doctors and counselors. That's how you do it. So, so that's how you would get rid of Xanax. And then you do a recovery program, obviously. You don't want to just stop and then the reasons why you were using in the first place, they're still there. Because most people they'll do drugs because they can't cope with life as life. So life on life's terms is not a possible thing for addicts. So that's why they will go to drugs because they can't handle life on life's terms, and then they'll get addicted. So if you remove the drugs, you didn't fix the problem at all. The problem was like you can't deal with life on life's terms. So this is why you need a recovery program. Um, Ruben, fentanyl patches for a long time. Just reading some comments here. You got off and then replaced with kratom. Kratom is a more natural and herbal option, I guess, but for me that wouldn't work because I would just abuse the other thing. But yeah, Ruben, it's way better than fentanyl because you can die easily from fentanyl. So good job on that. And everybody recovers at their own pace. Everybody recovers differently. There's some people that I'm in recovery that are like using kratom and stuff like that, and they still say they're clean. But for me, my program is abstinence from all drugs, all mind-altering substances, and unless you need certain medication prescribed by the doctor, and you talk with your sponsor about it, and you have a conversation with your higher power if you need to, and you go look at your motives for taking that. I mean, you can take some medications, obviously, but usually it's always you can't be high and abusing any type of mind altering substances like tolerance zero, I guess. PS is saying I'm on Xanax right now. I know you have got rid of it. What was the treatment? Me with Xanax, what happened is that I used it during prep one time, just before relapsing with the hard shit, and then I kept using it for like 4 or 5 weeks, and I at the point I just stopped because I think I ran out, and it wasn't my drug of choice, right? So I just didn't care about getting more, so I just stopped. But I'll only use it for like 8 weeks. And if you've been like how long, like say PS, I don't know if you want to answer this right now in the chat, but how long have you been using and how many bars of Xanax per day are you taking? Maybe I can guide you with that. Shane Cody, thank you for creating this help last week. Kept of us. Oh, nice. So my last week meeting maybe helped some of you guys out. So I'm really happy. That's why I'm doing this. Now, obviously, like 9 viewers. This is not a giant amount of like viewers, but I'm not doing this for the views. If I can help one person, that's the goal, right? Let's see more chat. Ketamine infusion. I mean, I know what ketamine is. I know people who abused it. It fucked up their bladder, and it would like make them pee. It would make their bladder the size of like ping pong balls because they would like do so much, and then they would have to pee every like 10 minutes. They're really bad. I've heard like that it really fucked up some people's kidneys also. So Some people use it for treatments now, which is like, okay, yeah, but are they're probably not addicts, right? Because addicts will not use something properly; they will abuse it. So there's a difference, right? It's like some people can use drugs successfully. That's not me, and that's not a lot of people. Um, do you feel like taking a pill while cutting? Like, what do you mean, like a pill, like a Xanax? The Xanax I was using was just to like help sleep at night, I guess, because I was too wired. It's like I found an excuse. Like, I was, oh, the doctor prescribed it to me because I said I was stressed. It's like my motive texting the doctor was like I was just texting him and trying to get a prescription, which is easy sometimes. So you gotta be careful. You have to really look at your old motives and see like it's like do I really need this? So I'm just telling myself I need it because I want to use it and feel different. So that's something only you like. That's why they say honesty is the one and is one of the main thing in recovery. But honesty with yourself, because you can, if you're not honest with yourself, you can justify a lot of things. Okay, reading more comments. How's married life? It's good, honestly. Like stability and having commitment really helps my recovery. It's not the reason why I'm staying clean. I'm staying clean for my own reason, but honesty and on bad days, it's like it helps so much because now it's like I have to go back home to my wife and son. It's like there's no way I'm gonna take the left turn and go and get fucked up somewhere. You know, like if I was single and in the past and no kids, it's harder. But then I would make sure my recovery program is like super airtight. But right now, it's like there's so much more. I have so much more purpose because I have a son and a wife that it really helps my recovery. All right. Well, what was I saying earlier? I was talking about the people, the friends. So I was mitochondrial stack. I want to, yeah, kids do change perspective. I want to talk about the people thing. So people told me like, oh, how am I gonna tell my friends that I'm gonna stop seeing them because of drugs? People are like wondering how to do that, and they're scared to do that and tell their friends I can't see you anymore. But honestly, let's say if all your friends are doing drugs and then you are not doing drugs, you could be like, hey, let's hang out, but I don't want to do drugs. Let's see who shows up, honestly. And then as you keep doing that, your friends who are really your friends and don't need the drugs to have an interaction with you, they'll just stop coming. So you don't have to do any effort into cutting them, right? Let me try to turn this for fun. Oh, no, it's not working. All right, Randall, real friends will stick with you. That's true. They will. Um, there's a question here. Are you straight edge? Well, I am in recovery. I don't take any drugs or alcohol. So can you mean straight edge? The funny thing, like, if you ask, like in the fitness world, if you get asked if you're straight, usually it's like if you're gay or something. So I was like, oh man, do I really have to answer this right now? Yeah, straight edge. I guess like I am straight edge. If you if you think like being clean and sober is straight edge, that's what I am, I guess. Somebody said real friends stick with you for sure. I remember your videos when you were in Europe showing them how to deadlift. Was that your biggest physique? I don't remember that. You can get a new friend group going to meetings and rehab too. That's 100%. And honestly, the fellowship of the meetings and the rehab is pretty much the probably the foundation of like how this whole thing works. Because you need another addict to do your recovery program. And it also takes two recover. What makes a meeting? It's two recovering addicts talking about recovery. That's a meeting. So right now, we're kind of doing a meeting. That's why it's called Antoine Anonymous. Hey, hey. So, and I say earlier also, I was talking about that in the car, is that Bill and Bob, who created the 12 steps in the AA book, the hospitals couldn't fix the alcoholics back in the days. They would go to the hospital, they would make them help with the withdrawal, get them off the booze, give them some pills, send them back home. They would come back worse a week later. So they kept doing that back in the 30s, right? So Bill and Bob, they were both like alcoholics that were trying to stop. One was a finance guy, Will, and Bob was a doctor. They noticed week after week that, oh my God, they noticed that, hey, we are not drinking anymore. They stopped drinking and had a good recovery program because as a result of helping other people and helping themselves. So it's like, hey, wait a minute. So helping other alcoholics try to stop drinking is making us sober. You're like, oh shit, like mind blown. Imagine back then, like the epiphany. So they added that into the whole 12-step program. So before that, people were dying. And then they made something that's not medical, that's not like even it's like a spiritual program you follow. Of course, there's CBT. There is cognitive behavioral therapy mixed in it, but it's kind of hidden in in the 12 steps. It's not like it doesn't say it. But let's see. Have a good weekend. Thanks. I quit. I quit. I quite stopped pot. Mostly did it to save money. Was easy. Randall, that's great. You did that. A lot of people can really kick bad habits and drugs and stuff easily. You're probably not an addict then, so that's awesome. You can do that easily. But for a lot of people, it's really hard. And you do save. The best way to save money is not spend it on drugs. That's for sure. How prevalent is recreational drugs in the bodybuilding world nowadays? Well, I'm sure the percent. My guess is that the percentage might be a little bit higher than the average person. But if you count drinking a recreational drug because you're drinking to feel a certain way recreationally, right? You don't use it professionally. You don't drink professionally unless you're Irish or something. But I would say that in bodybuilding, it's probably a little bit higher. A lot of bodybuilders will smoke weed to just relax or even focus for their workouts or go to bed at night. Like a lot of them, a lot of them. Like of all my friends, I think uh, I think am I the only one who don't doesn't do anything? Because my friends take Kratom, they take the weed gummies at night. They do smoke weed. I try to think. I think it's very much. I mean, recreational weed is not recreational if you use it for sleep, but some people maybe smoke just for fun too. So it is very much prevalent, like you said. I do believe it's very common for people to smoke weed, and also a lot of bodybuilders are not afraid to take certain drugs, so they'll go and take pills and have fun on the weekend. So that happens too. But the thing is, you can only do that for so long. At some point, it's going to catch up to you. But as I remember back in the 2011, I was at the Arnold Classic with Mike Johnson. It was 2012. I don't remember. But there was this club. It was called Boga Soga. What is it? It was a big church. It was a big, like, three-floor church. All the people were going there. They were taking pills and doing G or whatever. And I saw, like, I don't know if they were high or not, but I saw Phil Heath dance in the basement with his girlfriend. I saw Art Atwood that was upstairs. I saw Dorian Yates there. All these guys were partying in this big church thing in the Arnold Classic. What was that place called? It was crazy. So, but the thing is, like, okay, are they doing that once a year? Are they just drinking too? I was the one that was probably like exaggerating, where all these people were probably responsible. But I did see some bodybuilders and like, oh, why are you here? Like, aren't you supposed to be a bodybuilding icon? And then it's like 5 a.m. at Dre's in Vegas, and I see somebody that I know. So, like, yeah, it is prevalent, but I think like most people, most pro athletes that I saw were like in the party mode a little bit in Vegas or the All Classic after the expos and stuff. I think it's just they just do that once in a while. I was the one that was exaggerating because obviously these guys are still successful and stuff. I mean, some of them are dead, but maybe it's unrelated. But anyways, it is prevalent. You just gotta be careful. Randall, you're an addict. Just stop weed because they help me relax after work. That's good. So you're one of the normal guys. Antoine from Russia. I've been following you since 2013 when I just started going to gym myself. That's awesome. It's 12 years ago. Imagine that. Don't like alcohol. That's good. I've watched your journey, your struggles, your battles, and your strength. Thanks, Manic. Oh, whoa. Oh, Spudman. NL, I think, is Newfoundland. So it is. I am in a recovery program for cannabis. I got hooked on it when I stopped drinking alcohol. Yeah, sometimes you transfer from one thing to another, and actually it doesn't fix anything, right? It's like I said earlier, what's hard is to deal with life on life's terms, and sometimes it's really hard to do that for addicts, right? We can't cope with life, so we start using drugs to change that. So that's why the program is to learn how to cope with life. And Manic is saying was truly inspiring for me back then, and it is today. You were always one of the most genuine and interesting people in bodybuilding. Well, thanks, man. Compliments tonight. Call it Compliment Fridays. Um, HRT protocol. I'm not a doctor. You should take your blood levels tested and just make sure they're not low. That's how it works. Manic, I'm really happy to see you still standing strong. True legend. Much love and respect. Thanks, Manic. Keep it up too. Um, Shikil Kenny. Oh, yo, Tina, what's up? I'm here. I'm here doing the thing. Doing the thing. Antoine Anonymous. Welcome back. P.S. Antoine, I just had 20 shots of vodka. How much you are talking about? 20 shots of vodka? No, you were talking about Xanax earlier, P.S. You said you're taking Xanax. So how do you stop it? Well, I told you how long and how much you've been taking every day. Now you're saying you've done 20 shots of vodka. You might be an addict. We will see. Let's time go on. Sean James, how to raise test naturally. These are this live here is not questions about training or anything like that. It's mostly a live about mental health, uh, struggles, and addiction and recovery. So for the HRT, TRT, testosterone levels, and this and that, that's for I'm keeping that for another live stream. I'm keeping this one um, just to help people dealing with drug addiction problems or any bad habit problems that it can't stop. This is what it's for. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the people's part when I had to cut friends out and I didn't know what to do, and just by seeing people who just don't do drugs and people who did drugs, like I still keep some contacts with some friends from before, maybe one or two, but I've done like if I when I asked them to come see me, we didn't do drugs, and then we just stayed friends, right? But everybody that I've done drugs before, they're gone now. I don't talk to them anymore. There's one person I keep in touch sometimes, like once a year. I try to call him because his brother passed away from this disease, and this year I called him and he didn't pick up. So I'm not gonna run after him, but I think about him around every holidays because this is when it happened. So yeah. Um, CBBC is saying quitting alcohol can boost testosterone levels, especially if you're drinking. Yeah, I mean, alcohol is really bad for you, so it's probably messing up all your insides. So for sure, stopping it would help you. PS saying Xanax is the best to cut vodka, best cure vodka. I'm sorry you didn't understand. Okay, well, I do not recommend drinking shots of vodka to lean off the Xanax. If you can't go off the Xanax without doing vodka, it means that your body's really addicted to it, and you should go to a detox. That's my That is my recommendation. And whatever city you are in, you could type, like, let's say if you are from Columbus, Ohio, for example, just type Columbus, Ohio drug detox. There's websites you could call and then book a place, get a seat. Demo Gorgon is saying, I just recently went through a cycle with weed. I struggle to control how much I use and stop caring about things. I actually find it far easier to deal with life without it. It's really rough to quit. That's interesting. There may be something you don't like about life as it is, or you think you're going to have some fun or something, and then the weed, you use it, and then you have a different result. And the thing is, a lot of time addicts, like me, what I was doing, I would use, then I would think to myself, this time is going to be different. So I would do the same thing, and I would expect different results. You've heard that before, right? The Einstein thing, insanity is the blah 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 blah, doing the same thing, expecting different result. Well, a lot of addicts will do that. They'll just convince themselves that's going to be different this time, but then they'll do it, and then it's the same thing over and over again. So the thing is, if you can't get out of this cycle, the old Gorgon, I would really recommend maybe reaching out to a friend and maybe seeking some help. And like I said earlier, you can type your city, your town, your country, NA meetings. They're everywhere. You can start with that and ask for people there. People who are going through the same thing as you, and you can ask their help, and they will help you. Trust me. Um, Speaking of fentanyl, my next door neighbor passed from a couple of weeks ago. Don't buy rec pills on the street. Yeah, the thing is, if you buy, I know a girl who actually, it's crazy because somebody gave me these back in the days, 2 years ago. They gave me these street Xanax. So they look like the bars, 2 milligram bars, but they're made in the streets. And what do you think they're doing to make it stronger? Some people, they're putting fentanyl in these Xanax bars. So if you're used to taking Xanax, you take like the one full bar, or one and a half over, like, and then there's fentanyl in it, and you never take fentanyl, you can die on the spot right there. And it's happened. It's happened to people. They take fentanyl by mistake, thinking it's another drug, and they just pass away. So anything that's made in the street nowadays, that's like a pill form or like a mix of something, it's like it's not pure. You can see stuff in it. It's like there's a risk that it's like there's fentanyl in it. Um, Tina is saying, I'm 5 days off weed and alcohol again since I lost my aunt and cat. April 20th is my day one for me. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you, Tina. That's great. It's one day at a time. And the thing is, I remember you, the best I've seen you, like, feel and talk and stuff is when you were like, you had like, was it 9 months at some point you had? It was awesome. I think you just need to go back to doing that and do the meetings and do the AA. You know, you're doing AA, right? And just find some good people, stay away from the drama, and keep doing your recovery. But congratulations on 5 days. It's super cool to hear that because last week you were like kind of struggling, and now you got 5 days. Fuck yeah, that's good. Um, Demo Gorgon, much appreciated, my friend. I'm quit now. I've been for most of the last 5 years. Lost my job recently, which started, but we're getting back on track. Awesome. Let's go. Addiction can take over your life. No joke, 100%. Antoine, I'm following Milos, Kamali, and recently Phil. What the fuck are all these recommendations of a 500 TRT? I don't know. You tell me. Sean James, the best you can do is if you're over 35 or have kids, look, okay, they're doing a test talk. Uh, my view, I'm going to end with that because I'm hungry. My view with weed is that if you're not an addict, you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you're an addict, well, you're already doing whatever the fuck you want, and it's destroying you. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to seek some help. But I mean, weed can help some people, but it wasn't helping me. So that's why it is a drug, and it's a strong drug too. People say, "Oh, it's a soft drug." Fuck no, it's not. It's not a soft drug. Like the only drug I would freak the fuck out, thinking that I was dying, was weed, and I did everything. So weed is not like a weak drug by any means. So you have to be really careful with that. And if you're an addict, I wouldn't. If you have an addictive personality, I wouldn't do shit. I would just stay away from all that stuff. So, but yeah, weed's legal here in Canada. It's fine. I don't care. I don't feel triggered by that. Um, I just stay away from it because I'm an addict in recovery, right? But yeah, and as Demogorgon saying, good luck everybody. Sober is clear, clear feels free, and I agree. So, on that note, I hope you guys are doing good. Tina, congrats on the 5 days. This is awesome. This is a stream has been going on for 36 minutes. Once I press stop, you can watch the beginning if you want. I'll talk a little bit more about some personal things with my views on some stuff regarding places, people, and things, people, etc. But this is good. I'm happy I did it because I'm in Montreal and I didn't want to miss it. So, see you guys and stay on the good path. You know what the good path is. You know what's right. So, do that. And I'll see you guys again next Friday at 9:30 p.m. Um, on YouTube, live stream on YouTube. See ya.